Yeah.
Which is why Lloyd Beaver Morrison will have his hot dog cart at HPD's Reasoner substation Saturday night, feeding Houston's finest, his finest.
I call it the Beaver dog. It's marinated in beef bouillon, and it's boiled into the hot dog itself, so it tastes, in my opinion, pretty doggone good.
It's not easy for Beaver to get around these days, but he'll be there, standing by his cart and dishing out free dogs, along with some of his patented DWI humor.
That's where that term beer goggles comes from. The guy goes into a bar. After quite a few beers, he looks at the end of the bar, and Lassie could be sitting there, hey, baby. And he's trash. He doesn't know. So it's sad because the guy that ran over me and almost killed me, he didn't even know where he was.
You heard right. 2 years ago, Lloyd Beaver Morrison had a close encounter with not one, not two, but 3 different drunk drivers.
It's amazing that he survived. I mean, when I saw him the day after the crash in the trauma center, you know, people weren't expecting him to make it.
You see, Morrison was once a Houston police officer himself on the DWI task force. On Memorial Day weekend 2009, he was working an accident caused by an impaired driver. That's when drunk number 2 slammed into his patrol car. He got out to help that driver when drunk number 3 hit him, dragged him, and pinned him up against a fire truck.
I shouldn't have lived. Besides losing 36 units of blood that I needed at Ben Taub, my arm was nearly severed completely off. Both my legs were broken below the knees so severely that any other hospital would have just cut both legs off and my arm off, and my new nickname would be Lefty.
All drivers are endangered by drunks on the road, but police officers are especially vulnerable because their flashing lights actually attract impaired drivers.
When you and I are driving and we see a police car and we see lights flashing and we turn our head, we still drive straight. When someone's impaired and they see the flashing lights and they turn, so does the wheel.
On Saturday night, Beaver Morrison, now medically retired, will proudly help his brothers in blue nab drunk drivers. But he'd rather stop DWIs before they begin.
I pray that people, when they drink, they won't pick up the keys. For God's sakes, please let somebody else drive. And if they're ignorant enough not to make that sound judgment decision and get behind the wheel, well, they're going to have to face the consequences. Closer to home, my sister got a DWI, and after it was all said and done, she had to pay